Hey hunters and stealth assassins, welcome back to The Reasons Why. Today we're breaking down why Monster Hunter Wilds is better than Assassin's Creed Shadows. From epic dragon fights to Ubisoft's favorite hobby of copy-paste, we've got 21 spicy reasons that will make gamers rage in the comments. Let's dive in. And no, crouching in bushes doesn't count as content. Monster Hunter Wilds actually respects your time with epic hunts, not endless fetch quests. Assassin's Creed Shadows is shaping up to be another Ubisoft checklist simulator, where your map looks less like Japan and more like a to-do list app. Fetch 3 feathers, eavesdrop on 5 guards, kill 10 dudes who all look the same. Congratulations, you've just wasted an hour of your life. Meanwhile, Monster Hunter Wilds doesn't insult you with filler. Every quest is a massive encounter where the stakes feel real, the monsters feel alive, and the fight itself becomes the story. You're not running errands for an NPC who can't open their own gate. You're tracking a beast across shifting landscapes, strategizing with your squad, and pulling off clutch plays that leave your heart racing. That's not busy work, that's legend making. Wilds turns every session into a highlight reel, while Shadows feels like it's preparing you for a career in medieval HR. If you want to feel powerful, challenged, and respected as a player, Wilds delivers. Shadows just makes you wonder if Ubisoft thinks you're allergic to fun. The monster fights are unforgettable, while Shadows' enemies feel like NPCs on a schedule. In Monster Hunter Wilds, every battle is an event. You're not just fighting, you're surviving a cinematic, unpredictable showdown where a giant wyvern can wipe your squad if you let your guard down for 2 seconds. These monsters have movesets, personalities, and raw power that make them feel like living legends. Beating one isn't just gameplay, it's a war story you'll brag about in Discord for weeks. Now compare that to Assassin's Creed Shadows. Most of the enemies you fight are faceless samurai guards who conveniently patrol in circles like they're auditioning for the world's worst marching band. They don't inspire fear, they inspire yawns. Even the so-called bosses are just guys with slightly shinier armor who go down after the same rinse and repeat combo. Wilds makes your palms sweat and your jaw drop, while Shadows makes you check your phone mid-fight. The difference? Monster Hunter respects the art of combat. Assassin's Creed respects its calendar, making sure every NPC clock in and out like it's a 9-to-5 job. Every hunt is a story, not a checklist. Monster Hunter Wilds thrives on creating unforgettable narratives without a single scripted cutscene telling you how to feel. Your story is written in real time. You and your squad track a monster through storms, deserts, or forests, improvising strategies on the fly. Maybe your buddy gets KO'd, maybe you clutch a win with 1 sliver of health, maybe the monster escapes and you regroup for round 2. Every outcome is unique, personal, and worth retelling. Compare that to Assassin's Creed Shadows, where story usually means a linear mission with waypoints guiding you like a lost toddler through a shopping mall. It's less your adventure and more Ubisoft's schedule for you. Shadows hands you a to-do list, Wilds hands you a canvas and lets chaos paint the masterpiece. Wilds rewards skill, Shadows rewards button mashing. Monster Hunter is brutally fair. If you succeed, it's because you learned the monster's patterns, mastered your weapon, and executed under pressure. If you fail, that's on you. No excuses. Assassin's Creed. Shadows, on the other hand, practically begs you to spam the same light attack until the guards politely fall over. Sure, you can stealth around, but the AI is so forgiving that you could sprint into a camp wearing a neon sign that says "Assassin," and they'd still need 3 tries to notice you. In Wilds, combat is an exam you actually have to study for. In Shadows, it's an open book quiz where the teacher whispers the answers in your ear. Monster Hunter lets you fight dragons, not tax collectors in feudal Japan. Here's the thing, one game lets you take down towering dragons with glowing swords the size of surfboards. The other has you assassinating accountants? Okay, maybe not literal accountants, but Ubisoft's obsession with historical accuracy means most of your victims are bureaucrats, guards, and the occasional important lord who still fights like a tutorial enemy. Wilds gives you creatures that roar like earthquakes, fly like hurricanes, and fight like they're auditioning for Godzilla vs. Kong. Shadows gives you dudes who look like they've been waiting in line at the DMV for 6 hours. The spectacle gap is astronomical. One game makes you feel like a hero, the other makes you feel like HR. Pause the hunt. Your turn. Drop your funniest, smartest, or pettiest reason why Monster Hunter Wilds destroys Assassin's Creed Shadows. Best clapbacks get immortalized in our next Users Edition video, so bring the heat! Gear progression feels legendary, not like buying DLC to stay relevant. In Monster Hunter Wilds, every piece of gear is a badge of honor. You fought tooth and claw for that armor, carved it from a beast that nearly ended you, and now you wear it like proof of survival. Your weapon tells a story. It's not just a sword, it's the sword you earned. Meanwhile, Assassin's Creed Shadows will probably have you picking up legendary armor of slightly shinier shoulder pads from a chest that's literally 20 feet from a fast travel point. And let's be honest, Ubisoft has a track record of sliding optional DLC into the mix, turning gear progression into a credit card speedrun. Wilds makes you feel proud. Shadows makes you feel like you just bought your way through PayPal. Monster Hunter Wilds has teamwork. Shadows has AI companions who get stuck on walls. Monster Hunter thrives on squad synergy. Your crew is calling shots, laying traps, and cheering when someone pulls off a clutch mount attack. It's chaotic, it's loud, and it feels alive. In Shadows, Ubisoft is hyping up dual protagonists and AI allies. But let's be real. You know that AI is going to spend half the mission trying to open a door it can't interact with, or running headfirst into a tree. Coop in Monster Hunter means legendary hunts with real people. Coop in Shadows means babysitting an NPC that makes Skyrim guards look like rocket scientists. Every monster is a boss fight, not just a recycled samurai grunt. Monster Hunter doesn't waste your time with filler enemies. Every creature you face could headline a game on its own. Shadows, meanwhile, will send you up against infinite copy-paste guards with 2 animations, suspiciously squinting and instantly dead. Even the bosses are just bigger versions of the same guys, occasionally with a fancy hat. Wilds gives you apex predators that command respect. Shadows gives you a buffet of faceless extras auditioning for a failed Netflix samurai spin-off. Wilds has the hype of discovery, Shadows has the hype of cutscenes. Monster Hunter thrives on exploration. You never know when you'll stumble into a new monster's territory or watch 2 titans clash in a turf war you didn't even trigger. That's discovery. Shadows, on the other hand, is banking on cinematic cutscenes to deliver its hype. And yeah, they'll look good. Ubisoft always makes pretty trailers. But once the cutscene ends, you're back to crouching in bushes, tossing pebbles, and watching the same animations play out for the 40th time. Wild surprises you with gameplay. Shadows surprises you with scripted cinematics you'll skip on your second playthrough. Monster Hunter's community is alive. Shadows' discourse is just Ubisoft bad. The Monster Hunter fanbase is buzzing, trading builds, sharing strategies, and screaming in unison every time a trailer drops. The hype is real and communal. Assassin's Creed Shadows? Half the discussion is just people roasting Ubisoft for being Ubisoft. That's not hype, that's exhaustion. Wilds thrives on shared passion. Shadows drowns in memes about towers, maps, and the same game every year. The difference is clear. One game is feeding the fire, the other is trying to rekindle it with wet logs. Crafting feels rewarding, not like Ubisoft's copy-paste loot systems. Monster Hunter Wilds treats crafting like a victory lap after the battle. You track a beast, learn its patterns, outplay it under pressure, and then carve trophies that become meaningful upgrades. Materials aren't random trinkets, they're the receipts for your skill. You remember exactly which tail you severed at the last second to finish your blade, which plate finally dropped after a clutch mount, and which armor skill opened a whole new playstyle. It's a loop that celebrates mastery. Hunt smarter, craft stronger, hunt bigger. By contrast, Assassin's Creed Shadows leans on the familiar grab bag of generic loot and predictable resource nodes. Open a chest, get a shinier number, repeat. The difference is soul. Wilds asks, "What did you do to earn this?" Shadows asks, "How many icons did you clear?" In Wilds, every upgrade reshapes your build and invites lab time with friends. In Shadows, loot too often feels like another line item on a spreadsheet. Crafting in Monster Hunter is storytelling with steel and scales. Crafting in Shadows is paperwork with sparkles. One makes you proud of your gear, the other makes you check if there's a better drop 2 map markers away. The thrill of the hunt never gets old, while Shadows feels like deja vu from the last 5 AC games. Monster Hunter Wilds is built on unpredictability. No two hunts feel the same, even when you're facing the same beast. The environment, the monster's rage patterns, your team's strategy, all these variables collide to create a new story every time. It's chaos you welcome because it keeps you sharp, and because victory always feels earned. Assassin's Creed Shadows, on the other hand, is deja vu with a fresh coat of paint. You've crouched in the same bush, whistled to lure the same guard, and watched the same hidden blade animation so many times it feels like muscle memory. Ubisoft tweaks the costumes and locations, but the loop is the loop. Wilds thrives on dynamic living systems that challenge you every time. Shadows thrives on safe, predictable mechanics recycled for years. One makes you sweat with adrenaline, the other makes you sigh. Didn't I already do this in Origins, Odyssey, Valhalla, and now again in Japan? Wilds keeps the hunt alive. Shadows keeps the formula on life support. Monster Hunter Wilds pushes your skill ceiling, Shadows holds your hand. Monster Hunter has no chill, and that's the beauty of it. Every hunt is a gauntlet where your timing, positioning, and reflexes matter. You can't just mash buttons. You need to study the monster, read its tells, and commit to decisions knowing one mistake could flatten you. It's the kind of game that forces growth. Your improvement is visible, tangible, and immensely satisfying. Assassin's Creed Shadows, meanwhile, insists on being your babysitter. Tutorials drag on forever, stealth indicators scream in neon colors, and enemies politely take turns attacking you like they're following a cue. Ubisoft designs for comfort food gaming, easy to consume, never too spicy. Monster Hunter Wilds, by contrast, is a 5-star challenge meal that burns your tongue but keeps you coming back for more. Shadows assumes you'll rage quit if things get tough. Wilds assumes you're here to get better and rewards you for rising to the occasion. Wilds gives you iconic monsters. Shadows gives you nameless guards to stab. Monster Hunter Wilds is basically a bestiary of legends. Rathalos, Diablos, Xenogray. Even casual fans recognize these names, and veterans can tell you their roar by heart. Each monster is a franchise mascot in its own right, the kind of foe that deserves posters, merch, and a spot in gaming history. Assassin's Creed Shadows, by contrast, throws you against a never-ending conveyor belt of anonymous guards. You don't remember their names, you don't care about their moves, and the only unique thing about them is how quickly they ragdoll after a stealth takedown. Even the bosses in Ake usually end up being slightly fancier guards with maybe 2 extra lines of dialogue before they die. Wilds gives you adversaries worthy of legends. Shadows gives you NPCs who feel like they were programmed 5 minutes before release. One game builds iconic fights you'll tell stories about. The other builds corpses you won't remember. Monster Hunter is about cooperation. Shadows is about hiding in bushes forever. Monster Hunter Wilds thrives on teamwork. 4 hunters dropping into the field, each bringing a different weapon, a different style, and a different role. One sets traps, another tanks the blows, another times perfect combos, and suddenly you've got a squad executing a dance of chaos and strategy. The laughter, the clutch saves, the "oh my god, did you see that?" moments. They define the experience. Assassin's Creed Shadows, meanwhile, is obsessed with solo sneaking. Bushes are your best friend. Crouch, whistle, stab, repeat. Sure, Ubisoft might toss in some AI ally mechanics, but we all know it's a solo stealth grind where interaction means watching the same backstab animation for the 200th time. Wild celebrates community and co-op madness, while Shadows celebrates patience and shrubbery. In Monster Hunter, you win together and fail together. In Shadows, you sit alone in grass like the world's most depressed landscaper. Wilds has emergent chaos. Shadows has scripted stealth. Monster Hunter Wilds is unpredictable in the best way. You might be halfway through a hunt when a second monster barges in, turning the battlefield into a 3-way war where you're just trying not to get stepped on. Maybe a storm changes visibility, maybe the environment collapses under the weight of combat. Maybe your squad wipes and you have to clutch a comeback. It's chaos that feels alive, because the world isn't following a script. It's reacting to itself and to you. Assassin's Creed Shadows, on the other hand, thrives on scripted stealth routines. Guards walk the same routes, patrols never change. If you fail, you just reload the checkpoint and play the same sequence again until you solve it. It's a puzzle box that looks cool but plays safe. Wilds gives you moments you can't recreate even if you tried. Shadows gives you moments you've already replayed a dozen times. Every hunt is multiplayer chaos, not single-player boredom. Monster Hunter Wilds thrives on the unpredictable energy of real players. Your teammate might land the perfect mount attack that saves the squad, or they might cart 3 times in a row and turn the lobby into chaos. Either way, it's fun because you never know what's going to happen. The dynamic between hunters adds tension, humor, and hype that no AI could replicate. Assassin's Creed Shadows? It's designed as a mostly solo experience, where multiplayer usually means reading forum posts about how someone else did the same assassination slightly faster. Shadows isolates you in your single-player bubble of crouching and stabbing. Wilds throws you into a pit with friends, strangers, and monsters that don't care about your plans. One feels like a Friday night raid full of yelling and laughter, the other feels like doing homework alone at your desk. Monster Hunter Wilds is unpredictable. Shadows is predictable to the cutscene. In Monster Hunter Wilds, you never know how a hunt will play out. The monster might suddenly enrage, another beast could invade mid-fight, or your environment could shift in ways that change the entire battle. It's that unpredictability that keeps every encounter fresh and worth talking about. No 2 hunts feel identical, and that's why players keep coming back. Assassin's Creed Shadows, meanwhile, is as predictable as a rerun. You sneak into a fort, you stab the target, you escape, and boom, here comes the dramatic cutscene where your assassin whispers something poetic to the dying enemy. It's the same rhythm AC has had for over a decade, just wearing a new costume. Wilds keeps you on the edge of your seat with gameplay-driven surprises. Shadows keeps you glued to the same cinematic formula you could call in advance. Wilds celebrates creativity in combat, Shadows celebrates pressing assassinate again and again. Monster Hunter Wilds is a playground for combat nerds. 14 weapon types, each with insane depth, combos, and mechanics that could be their own standalone games. You can play aggressively, defensively, or go full anime with aerial flips and massive finishers. The game rewards experimentation. Every hunt is an opportunity to try a new strategy or weapon flow. In Assassin's Creed Shadows, combat boils down to pressing assassinate over and over. Maybe sprinkle in a light heavy attack when you're feeling fancy. Sure, the animations look cool, but the system doesn't evolve. You've seen it once, you've seen it all. Wilds gives you freedom to express yourself as a hunter. Shadows gives you a glorified QuickTime event with extra steps. One makes you feel like a creative warrior, the other makes you feel like a sneaky intern clocking in repetitive tasks. Monster Hunter Wilds feels fresh. Shadows feels like deja vu. Every new Monster Hunter installment brings a sense of discovery. New monsters, new mechanics, new biomes that twist the formula in unexpected ways. Wilds looks set to push that even further with dynamic environments and next-gen spectacle. It feels like evolution, like Capcom is building on its legacy without losing the soul of the hunt. Assassin's Creed Shadows? The franchise has been on rinse and repeat for years. New setting, new historical coat of paint, same stealth bush routine? Sure, Japan is exciting, but once you peel back the art direction, it's the exact same Assassin's Creed game you've played 5 times before. Wilds reinvents excitement every hunt. Shadows just recycles it. One feels alive, the other feels like deja vu with sakura petals. Wilds is about epic monsters, Shadows is about Ubisoft's epic copy-paste. Monster Hunter Wilds defines itself by scale and originality. Every monster is a set piece, massive, terrifying, and unique enough to feel like it belongs in its own legend. The encounters demand respect, strategy, and collaboration. They're the kind of battles you remember years later, the ones that get etched into gaming history. Assassin's Creed Shadows, on the other hand, can't shake Ubisoft's reputation for recycling. Towers to climb, guards to stab, fetch quests to grind, copy, paste, repeat. The setting changes, the names change, but the formula remains the same. Shadows wants to impress you with quantity, Wilds wins with quality. At the end of the day, players will remember their first Rathalos hunt, not their 50th identical guard takedown. Wilds is a saga of monsters. Shadows is just Ubisoft's annual template with cherry blossoms slapped on top. Thanks for watching, Legends! If you laughed, raged, or nodded along, smash that sub button and keep the debate alive in the comments. Don't forget, your best takes could show up in Users Edition. This was the reasons why. Epic debates, legendary comments.